Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, Textron launches their one-call service. The push is on for ATC Privatization. The Reno Air Races look good for 2016. I'm Bree Cross. It's January 28th, 2016, and this is Airborne Unlimited. Textron Aviation has bolstered its customer service offering with the launch of One Call, which provides a single point of contact for Beechcraft, Citation, and Hawker customers during unscheduled maintenance events. The One Call service means that aircraft operators now have a single phone number for quick access to Textron Aviation's customer service team for immediate support. From the initial call to progress reports to after-service follow-up, aircraft operators have a single point of contact. Brad Thress, the Senior Vice President of Textron's customer service, said in part, quote, "Customers calling this dedicated line will be able to receive prioritized technical support, order expedited parts, have alternative lift quickly dispatched, or even schedule a mobile service unit." Textron Aviation says their one-call team oversees every step of a maintenance event using visual display boards that track all calls, air response aircraft, and mobile service units through to issue resolution. Congressman Sam Graves and Todd Rokita says that the FAA has had ample opportunity to modernize the nation's air traffic control system and that shifting that function to a private organization should be fast-tracked by the U.S. legislature. Writing in an editorial for The Hill, the congressman blasts the FAA for not having made progress on modernizing the air traffic control system. They wrote, quote, "The FAA has missed deadlines, exceeded budgets, and has almost entirely neglected industry stakeholders who will be using this new technology on a daily basis." In the editorial, they look to the status quo is not working and say, quote, "It's time for a better approach." The better approach they are referring to is ATC privatization. Regarding general aviation, they wrote in part, quote, "We would not even entertain this transition discussion if we found out it would harm the general aviation community. Ultimately, we want to ensure that these aviators reap the benefits of a modern, efficient air traffic control system." The GA industry is not fully convinced that the idea is a good one, and they have not seen the proposed legislation. After the break, excitement is building for the Reno Air Races.
Based on the popular Sling 2 LSA, the Sling 4 was designed to be the most practical and desirable lightweight four-place experimental aircraft on the market. Find out more about this 115 horsepower turbocharged airplane at airplanefactory.com.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
Welcome back. If you have a story suggestion for Airborne Unlimited, Aero-TV, our website or podcast, just email to news-spy@aero-news.net. When the word got out that the prime sponsor for the Reno Air Races, Breitling, was no longer participating in the race event, there was some concern about its survival. Now it's reported that things are looking good for 2016. Officially known as the National Championship Air Races, the event is scheduled this year to run from September 14th through the 18th. We also see that NBC Sports will broadcast a show about last year's race on March 27th, which will expose the Reno Air Races to a broad audience and hopefully improve attendance. The event planners said the drone zone will be in operation again this year, but an added feature is included. It's been announced there will also be a drone racing program. This is obviously aimed at the younger generation, and the U.S. Navy Blue Angels will be there for the first time in 5 years. The Reno Air Races are a great way to get your aero sports fix. It's Thursday, which means that it's time for an Aero Community Update. However, today our report is not about a member of the Aero community, it's about the Aero community itself and how our Airborne Partnership Initiative fits into the picture. The Airborne Partnership Initiative, we call it the API, is a plan developed by ANN CEO and Editor-in-Chief Jim Campbell to build a synergistic, industry-wide aviation aerospace news program. Our aim is to grow this program to include a significant portion, if not a majority, of the aviation world's pivotal organizations, interests, and viewpoints. Our hard work and planning has paid off with the new products introduction programs we produced for the Aircraft Electronics Association and the smashing success of our AirVenture Innovations preview broadcast from Oshkosh last year. These successes have proved we're on the right course, and now our plans are to extend that course as we move forward. Airborne and its parent companies will embark on a number of aggressive new programs in the months ahead. There will be a distinct expansion of our special event programming and partnership efforts in association with a number of our valued syndication partners. Such efforts include live programming, special Aero-TV feature webcasts, as well as expanded coverage on Aero-News and within our Prop Wash daily newsletters and other products. We're also excited about a project we call Aero Hangouts, which are live special purpose programs with multiple guests and the ability for outside parties with webcams to contribute and be seen and heard as part of the programming. We'll be taking our staff and programming on the road to interesting pivotal locations, events, companies, and major news gatherings. We'll undertake more special programming, documentaries, and special episodes. We've hardly started and we have so much more planned. After these messages, a UAV gets an escort.
Since 2001, MGL Avionics has produced avionics for experimental and light sport aircraft. The flagship product is the IEFIS, a comprehensive next-generation flight, engine, and navigation instrument designed to meet the demands of the modern pilot. See more at www.mglavionics.com.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. A Dakota State University program plans to use an Hermes 450 UAV to the air to study crop patterns and take high-resolution photographs this summer. However, for safety reasons, it will be escorted by a manned aircraft as part of the program. The pilots of United Airlines, represented by the Airline Pilots Association, have approved a 2-year extension to their collective bargaining agreement with United Continental Holdings. The agreement extends the amendable date of the agreement to January 31, 2019. The International Air Transport Association condemned a sudden 33 to 38% increase in the Italian council tax levied on air passengers. The association says it will damage Italian economic competitiveness and result in 2,300 jobs a year being lost. The FAA has issued a special airworthiness information bulletin due to an intermittent signal processing error in the Garmin GAD-43E being received from the Honeywell KFC 275 or KFC 325 autopilot system. Autopilot altitude capture and/or VS modes could give inappropriate pitch commands. An F-35 fighter jet from the 461st Flight Test Squadron launched an AIM-9X missile for the first time earlier this month. This paves the way for the F-35 to utilize the weapon's high off-bore sight and targeting capabilities, increasing lethality in the visual arena. Well, that's the trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. It appears that Congress is getting an earful regarding the use of and regulation of UAVs. The New York Times reports that the factions include pure hobbyists that want some of the restrictions imposed by the FAA eased, airline pilots who would like to see more restrictions, and safety technology. Privacy advocates are concerned about their personal space, and companies like Walmart and Amazon would like to send autonomous aircraft out to deliver packages in the parking lots or to your front door. The competing interests are scrambling for meetings with key lawmakers on relevant committees in an effort to have their concerns addressed in the FAA reauthorization bill being crafted by the Congress. Senator Bill Nelson, who sits on the Senate Commerce Committee, sent a letter recently to the FAA, DHS, NASA, and the Pentagon, calling on those agencies to coordinate UAV safety and security. It is sad that an issue as important as developing salient UAV regulations and policies is looking like a Saturday Night Live comedy sketch regarding government inaptness. Well, that's our program for today. Remember to get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily Monday through Friday with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. Please join us and a growing roster of over 100 outstanding industry associations and organizations every weekday for the best in aviation and aerospace news from the staff of the Aero-News Network, the aviation world's most comprehensive news and information resource.